Hello and welcome. I'm Laura from Freckles, and I am the kind of crazy redhead behind all of our craft kits. So this is our fairy house that we have designed, and it starts off with a piece of paper, and then it gets sort of put using some recycling. I make a kind of model of it, then we get a prototype laser cut, and then we tweak it, and then my kids make it. I watch how they're making, I watch how they use the materials, if there's anything that I can tweak on the designs or the bits that I give you, and then it's released into the world. I really love this fairy house because it has so many dimensions to it. So this is what my girl has finished up with, but I just wanted to talk you through some of the stages. Obviously, you've got the construction stage of the actual house first, depending on the delegation procedures in the house, this might fall down to you, or it might be it's given to a parent to do. This needs to be fairly solid though, so I've included in your little kit little glue pot and your applicators, cotton wool buds. This is a quick drying glue, so you see it's fairly good amount in there. And if I was you, I would have it lying down, and you're going to do sort of, this is going to be your first stage. So you're going to attach the walls first. So using your glue, you are going to try not to pour it everywhere. Oh, a bit of a tip actually, if you wanted to use the packaging, so here I'm just going to get a nice good big dollop of glue, and going to make sure it goes all the way in here. If you wanted to use the packaging, that is a really good way to open it up and then use it to protect the table. So you see, this is like strong glue, so we need it to be nice and strong for the kids. And we're going to take it down. As I say, you need this to be fairly strong. I mean, our kit gets sort of bundled around everywhere, so I did put an extra bit of glue gun on it. And if you have access to that, it's never gonna be a bad idea to give it extra structural integrity. Okay, so that is, as you see, going to be coming out the sides, hence why you need a table covering. And don't do like me and just do it on the table. So ignore that step. That is definitely not a step we want to be replicating in your own home. But I am a bit more laissez-faire. Well, about our tables, when I say I am, my husband is not. So he just loves it when he gets home from work and there's a bit of glitter stuck onto the table and a bit of glue's gone overboard, and yeah, the highs and lows of marrying a redhead. Okay, so yeah, it's nicely giving it a good splattering of glue. Line it up. You always want these to be at the base because that's obviously what's going to attach your base. And then once that's dry, as I say, you need to just give it a little bit of support. You can add in the base, just don't glue it on yet, just to make sure that it's going to glue into the right place. I mean, to be honest, you could give it a go gluing the base on as well if you feel happy about doing that, and then it all just slots into place like that. So yeah, I suppose at this stage what you could do, you could give it a go gluing it on, and you can always sort of glue around into these edges along here. As I say, definitely more is more with the glue. You don't want to go too far up on the house because obviously you haven't got bits, but obviously you are going to put some foam clay onto it. So you can, because the glue will leave a little mark, so you don't want to be sort of creating a problem so that you see it, because my girl would not be happy with that. But, you know, she's a traveller. Okay, so that's going to be set away to dry. Now, once that's drying and that's kind of doing its thing, you can crack on with all of your painting and your colouring. In your bag, you have all of your crafty bits, okay? So you can be colouring in, painting the sun, doing the clouds, making your toadstools, so that's using the pens. You can then use the other cotton wool bud, or the other end of it, to grab your paint pot, and that's going to dab onto there to make your little circles. You can make your toadstool, little seating area. Obviously that's all there still drying, so you can't actually construct this all together, but you can go a fair way. You've got your little lampshade to create. So that is a sort of full-on little painting, colouring info. Now, once that's dry, that's not going to be, I would probably be leaving that structure overnight really. You're then going to do your roof. Very helpfully, right for your right hand side, left for your left hand side. That's going to attach onto here, and then in your kit you'll have a little triangle, and that little triangle is just for a tiny bit of extra stability. So once you've got all this together, sorry, I've just knocked the camera on helpfully, you'll see these grooves in here. These will just go into the grooves like this, there, and that one there. Okay, and that's going to just give your house some really good sort of structural security. And then you're going to foam clay the top. So that foam clay is going to sort of help adhere this shape, okay? So you can foam clay it beforehand and maybe leave these top bits and this bit. So all of this is kind of foam clay flat like this. And then when you put it all together, just make sure you're putting a good load of foam clay along the top and along all of those joins, because that's going to make this roof unstoppable. So then you can put it all together. Obviously this is just my creation. It's very important we have a very solid fairyland sign. So this is your sign, and these will have pilot holes already in the wood, and you can do one. So this is a perfect example of my little girl not being happy with her spelling and also design. So we just turned it over, gave it a paint, and we did it again. So you can either just do it on the wood, or you can give it a paint, totally up to you. And then you're going to sort of add everything together. Now, in your kit, you also have some really cute little duckies. And I'm going to try and find those duckies. And here they are into the bag. And these are going to give you a little pond, which I thought was a nice little extra bit to add onto the craft kit. So I've just made a circle out of the remaining blue. And we're going to pop it down here, and maybe it might need to be a little bit bigger. And then these duckies are just going to, oh, you've got ladybugs as well, sort of go onto their own little pond. Yeah, you need to be a bit bigger. I underestimated the size of my ducks. So, make it a bit pond. Probably need some kind of water warning, don't we? Some loose water. So obviously your pond doesn't need to be a circle. It can be any shape you want it. And so you can place it on there. And then the ducks will glue on, and when that dries, it will harden, and your ducks will dry and harden onto their own little pond. I've molded that foam clay a bit too much. It's gone a bit too dry. But you see what I mean. Now, the other option as well. Well, that one's had too much, hasn't it? That will adhere and harden. And your toadstools are here as well. They come on a wire. Now you can either keep them on the wire so that they stand up a little bit, or you can take them off the wire. And again, using your green foam clay, you're going to just press, using a little bit onto the base of the mushroom, pressing it down. All of these elements can be added on either with your glue or with your foam clay. So with the foam clay, you just want to press it down nice and gently, okay? So you don't want it too thick, because otherwise it will dry in like 100 years. And that is it, guys. That is it. I think I've talked you through most of it. Hopefully you've got loads of little extra bits if you wanted to put a ladybug on your table, for you to have a little creative playtime with. And if you wanted to with your sign, you can have like Fairyland open on one side or Fairyland closed on the other. That is enough now to talk you through your fairy house. I hope you absolutely love it. I do know of a little girl actually who used to write little notes go into her fairy house, and the fairies would sometimes even reply back to her. So I don't know if you want to create that kind of magic at home. You should definitely do that. If you are able to and want to, you can you put your final make on my Instagram. I love seeing how you can always give people the same materials and the final outcome is always so different. So I would really love to see them. Kind of gives it a little bit of joy seeing how they've been made and what your imagination has done with all of your bits. Anyway, that's my fairy house tutorial. I hope you love it as much as I do. And I hope you have a little bit of creative craft time. Take care of yourselves. Bye.